Good evening from Shenzhen in southern China. I wanted to talk to you this evening about the ever-increasing appetite in China for Australian food. We've had in Australia many examples of Chinese investors looking at Australian land to produce food on, but what I'm talking to you about is the fact that there's this insatiable appetite in China for food that isn't produced here. For better or for worse, the Chinese consumer still doesn't necessarily trust food that's produced in their own country, and there are various reasons for that. But one of the places that they do covet the food from is Australia. Now, it is hard to get through the various registrations, regulations, certifications to get food into China, and there are plenty of foods that are not yet allowed into China from Australia. But in the long term, the increasing appetite for Australian food is not going to go away. And even if some of the plans to increase the quality of Chinese agriculture come to fruition, there's still going to be significant demand in China for that premium produce that comes out of Australia, a premium product. Let's call it the France of Asia. The point is that there are a lot of farmers and food producers that Huntingford Advisory comes across that are scared of this type of investor called a tyre kicker. You know, someone who has looked at China, looked at Australian farmland, done a tour, talked about coming up with the money, may have even talked about the price, but never followed through. And granted, that might have been a problem in the past, but far more Chinese investors and trading businesses here are interested not in the land anymore. They're interested in the offtake. They're interested in getting access to good quality Australian food. So I encourage you all, if you're an Australian farmer or food producer, don't let the difficulty of getting food into China be a barrier for you. There are lots of great Australians here who are very well qualified to get your food into this country. And if it can't get in yet, because China hasn't yet allowed it, it's very sensible to make a long-term plan, because the trends are that that food will come in. And however long it takes, is a very big market. This is an incredible country with incredible demand for good quality food. And there are so many people here that even if China starts producing food that its residents want to eat, there's still going to be plenty of demand for food from other countries, especially with exotic provenance, if you like. So talk to one of the Australians in China who can help you. Huntingford Advisory can help you, but there are lots of others. The reason I'm preaching this message is because at the end of the day, there are a limited number of Australians. If the Australian food and agriculture industries want to grow, there's only so far that they can grow with the population that's in Australia. The key is to find markets outside of Australia who have significant demand for Australian food. And I can tell you now that China is one of those, and it's not going away. And the fact that they consider our food to be a premium product gives us a great opportunity for much higher margins than we might be able to get in our own country. So I encourage you all, if you haven't come for a visit. You're welcome to come and see me. And if you are looking to expand your Australian farm or food producing business, talk to one of the Australians here in China about how you could plan in the short, medium or long term to get into this market and grow your business.